The Tale of Thomas the Talking Turkey. It was a crisp autumn day in Bunnyland, the air full of the rich scent of fallen leaves and the soft rustling of the trees. Thanksgiving was just around the corner, and preparations were underway. Mercy M. Oos, the far-sighted moose, was busy polishing her spectacles, trying to see far into the distance to spot any incoming guests, while Gus Gus, the squeaky guinea pig circus ringmaster, was assembling a feast under the grand oak trees. Across the deep blue lake, in a little town called Gobblelot, there lived a turkey named Thomas. Unlike the rest of his family, who were content to say nothing more than gobble, gobble, and sometimes gobble, 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 when they were feeling particularly chatty, Thomas had a love for words. As a young poult, he would hide away in his room, poring over books, learning new words, and mastering a vast vocabulary. But with no one around to talk to, Thomas often found himself lonely. He had so much to say, but no one who understood him. One chilly autumn morning, he packed his favorite books and decided it was time to seek out others who appreciated the beauty of language.
Hey, Nate.
Hi, Muffin.
Hey, Nate. A quick question for you, Nate.
Yes, Muffin.
There weren't no books in there tell you how to plant carrot seeds, Nate?
Well, there might be books about how to plant carrot seed.
Okay, Nate. Well, you got to make sure that you get it so you can weed it, Nate.
I will weed it for you. Before he flew the coop, Thomas gave a warm hug to each of his family members, which took a day and a half, and let them know of his plans for conversational escapades afar. His family were sad to see him go, but with one collective and typical turkey response, they encouraged him on his journey.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Gobble.
I'll find someone to talk to,
Thomas said to himself as he slung his tiny backpack over his shoulders and began to trot along the forest path.
Surely there is others who enjoy good conversations as much as I do.
And so Thomas left the nest, leaving Gobblelot behind. He worked his legs hard, trotting over the hills and fields surrounding the deep blue lake until, at last, he arrived in Bunnyland. The moment he came around a final bend in the path, Thomas heard the sound of soft murmuring and occasional clicks and pops.
Murmur, 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 murmur. Murmur, murmur.
Curious, he followed the sounds and soon found himself at the edge of a clearing. There, under the orange and red canopy of autumn leaves, was Noel, the tiny Christmas bear, who only spoke in pops and clicks, cozily nestled in his handmade sleeping bag. Noel never left his toasty bag and had been in it for so long he truly believed he was legless. Thomas tilted his head, trying to decipher the strange language.
Ah, a fellow linguist,
he exclaimed, thinking he had finally found someone who spoke in a sophisticated manner.
Greetings, dear tiny bear. It seems we are both fluent in the art of communications, though your dialect is one I've never encountered before.
Noel blinked and gave a couple more clicks, then snuggled deeper into his sleeping bag, too warm and comfortable to respond further. It didn't take long for Noel to fall fast asleep. Disappointed, but not one to disturb anyone's slumber, Thomas moved on, and soon he spotted another curious creature, Ba-Bee, the tiny nomadic lamb, and cousin of Ba, the hypersomniac sheep. Ba-Bee was trotting through Bunnyland, always on the move, a tiny pack slung over her shoulder.
Ah, a traveler,
Thomas said, trying to keep pace.
Perhaps you've picked up a few languages on your journeys.
Ba, 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 bleated Bee, not stopping to chat, her mind focused on her endless search for new places and neato stuff to look at. Thomas sighed, his feathers drooping a little.
So much movement, yet so little conversation.
As he wandered further, he met more curious characters. There was Ollie, the ever-eavesdropping owl, perched high on her tree.
Who?
Did you hear that, Muffin?
Who?
Muffin, did you hear that?
Yeah, don't be playing me, Nay.
There was Ollie, the ever-eavesdropping owl.
Who?
Perched high in her tree, overhearing everything but saying very little.
Just like you, Nay.
And then there was Ryan, the immigrant koala from Australia, who now called Bunnyland home. Ryan was lounging on a low branch, chewing on a leaf of one of the eucalyptus trees he'd managed to transplant from his homeland. "G'day, mate," Ryan greeted Thomas sleepily in his thick Australian accent.
Good day indeed.
Thomas perked up.
I'm Thomas, the Talkative Turkey, in search of someone with a love for words. Might I interest you in a riveting conversation about the intricacies of sentence structure or the beauty of limericks?
Ryan gave him a slow, thoughtful look. "Well, I mostly just say g'day," he said, yawning between mouthfuls. "Not much of a talker." The koala seemed more interested in climbing up further in his imported tree and find more snacks, leaving Thomas far down below and out of conversation range. Thomas sighed. Was no one in Bunnyland as talkative as him? Just when he was about to give up, he heard a familiar voice from a distance, loud and proud and filled with authority.
Hurry up, Little Brown. Thanksgiving is tomorrow, and I need to make sure everything is perfect.
It was Muffin the Great, the sweet white bunny and ruler of Bunnyland, bustling about her best friend, Little Brown, the little bear who murmured his own language of murmel.
Murmel.
Thomas's ears picked up. He had heard stories of Muffin the Great. Perhaps she, with her regal air and talkative nature, would appreciate his eloquent speech.
Hey, Nay. When people talk about me, Nay,
Yes.
they telling the truth, Nay. Telling the truth.
They're telling the truth. He'd also heard that Little Brown, although only capable of speaking murmel, could always rely on Muffin to translate. Thomas puffed up his feathers and strutted over to where Muffin and Little Brown were.
Greetings, your royal bunship,
he said, bowing deeply.
I am Thomas, the Talkative Turkey from Gobblelot. I come seeking fellow linguists and those who enjoy the art of conversation.
Muffin blinked, momentarily taken aback.
Well,
she said, smoothing her fur.
I do love talking about myself, duh, and discussing the intricacies of cahoots, if that's what you mean.
Muffin, did you mean to say the intricacies?
Nay, that's a big word, Nay. Don't mess with me.
Okay. Thomas beamed.
Ah, a kindred spirit. Perhaps we can trade limericks to celebrate the Thanksgiving season.
Muffin's nose twitched with curiosity.
Limericks? Why not? You got one?
Thomas took a deep breath and recited.
There once was a bunny named Muffin, whose crown was so tall she stuffed in. Her love for the land and a carol-filled hand, her friends always gave her a puffin.
Muffin clapped her paws, laughing.
That's delightful, but I think I can do one better. Listen to this. There once was a turkey who talked, with words that quite often were balked, but in Bunnyland found some friends all around, and with them he happily squawked.
Thomas laughed so hard his feathers ruffled and his waddle waddled.
I knew I'd find someone who appreciated good wordplay.
Just then, Mercy M. Ouse appeared, her large antlers adorned with festive autumn leaves. "Oh, Muffin, who's this new friend of ours?"
This
Muffin declared grandly.
is Thomas the Talkative Turkey, and he's staying with us for Thanksgiving.
At Muffin's invitation, Thomas felt a warmth fill his heart.
Hey, Nay,
Yes, Muffin?
I got a question, Nay.
Go ahead, Muffin.
Well, I know we're not talking about the freeloaders, Nay, but if we bring Thomas in, he bringing anything, Nay? He got any corn, Nay? He got any corn? We need corn, Nay.
He'll bring corn.
Okay, Nay.
Okay. He had finally found a place where he belonged, a land full of animals who, even if they didn't always understand his vast vocabulary, still welcomed him as a friend.
Now, you still didn't answer my question about making fun of me when I say corn, Nay.
Muffin, shh.
Let me shush my fruit, bunny.
That evening, the animals of Bunnyland gathered for a grand Thanksgiving feast under the glowing autumn skies. Gus Gus squeaked happily as he served plates of roasted vegetables, while Mercy M. Ouse made a toast to everyone present, squinting and adjusting her glasses all the while. Noel popped and clicked in delight, and Ollie the Owl watched quietly from a branch, always keeping an ear open for juicy gossip. Thomas, now surrounded by friends, stood tall and proud, no longer lonely, but filled with gratitude for this magical land he could now call home. And together they shared one last Thanksgiving limerick.
In Bunnyland, friends gather round, with laughter and joy that's profound. A turkey who talks, and a moose who walks. In Bunnyland, love is always found.
Happy Thanksgiving to all from your friends in Bunnyland.
And me too. And Nay, happy Turkey Day to you too. Go gobble, 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 Nay.
Gobble, 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 gobble.
Hello.
Thank you for listening to Memoirs of Muffin the Great. Please make sure to like, share, and subscribe.
Make sure you push the button too, now, Nay.